Welcome to episode 14 of This Nanny Knits. I am Lucy and I am a nanny who knits. Today is the 5th of February, it's a Saturday morning. Well, it's almost lunchtime, but I've had a lay-in and faffed around a bit, so it's practically still morning for me. I haven't really had an opportunity to podcast this week. We've had builders in and out, so it's been a bit hectic. But Dan's popped out this morning to help his brother, so I thought this will be a perfect opportunity. Please bear with me today. I haven't got my setup quite right in here. My desk is now in front of me, so there might be a lot of this, reaching to grab things. I've got a pile down here, so there'll also be a lot of this. I clearly need to figure out a better setup, but for now, this is what we're working with. I've literally got an hour, so, well, I've got an hour until Dan comes home, and then it might get noisy. I could still sit here and waffle on all day, you know that, but you might hear him banging around. He's not the quietest person. I haven't written any notes today, so I'm looking over here at last week's notes to kind of feed off of. I felt that last episode was a bit higgledy-piggledy. I think I was out of practice after vlogging for Vlogmas for so long. But hey, we're gonna go with it. I probably should say hello and welcome. If you are new here, thank you very much for stopping by. And if you're returning, then hello again. It is nice to see you. Well, to see you. You can find me in all the usual places. Ravelry, Instagram, here on YouTube. Obviously the links to everything will be down below, and everything that I talk about will be down below too. You will notice that I am again wearing the first sweater by Lizzie over at Hive Knits. Honestly, I've not really taken it off. I spend a lot of my time in gym wear, what with going to the gym in the mornings and then running to work and then coming home and getting changed. So I really only wear this for like half a day at a time by the time I've got home and showered and cleaned. But I've worn it for like so many days. Like every opportunity I'm like, oh yeah, it's cold outside, I'm gonna put my first sweater on. And I'll talk more about this in the live section later, but our house is so cold right now with the building. Like this has just been the perfect thing to wear. So sorry, not sorry, but it's my most favourite garment and I love it so much. It's just so squishy and yeah, amazing. And I can officially say that the pattern is now out. It came out last Saturday, the 31st. Was it the 30th? No, it wasn't the 31st. That's such a lie. Look at my calendar. Last Saturday was the 29th of January. So it's now available. I will link down to Lizzie and Ravelry where you can find this pattern down below. So we are going to go straight into, we're going to do finished objects first. I was going to go straight into whips, but I only have a couple of finished objects. I feel that I've really been clearing my needles. Well, I thought that until I sit down and I do this. I'm like, well, you didn't really, you just finished a couple of things, but progress is progress. So let me just, 1 second, I need my sock blockers. So a couple of lingering things really. Well, no, one lingering thing, I guess. I feel like I finished something else, but I haven't. I feel like there was something else that I was knitting. I don't think there is. I just feel like I've accomplished way more than I already have. But I did finish my Advent socks. So if you don't know and you haven't been here before, these are the Cozy Knit Advent socks. The idea is that you knit a stripe a day for 24 days and then you input the heel and the toe. I, as you can probably tell if you're quick at counting, have got more than 24 stripes because I messed up the maths. So at the time I didn't think I wanted to do a contrasting cuff. Kind of wish I had now because I think that would have tied in quite nicely. But I didn't. I started in the colour sequence and got to here. This would have been where I should have put my toe and was like, Lucy, this is not big enough for your foot. What were you thinking? And I don't know. I was doing the maths, working out how many rounds per stripe, and then something just went skew with, but it's fine. I'm really happy with them. I don't wear long socks a whole lot, so I probably won't get much use out of them now until next winter, unless I'm just sitting on the sofa and freezing while there's stuff going on here. So I obviously have a pair. I should show you the other coming right up now. They are quite a nice long sock, to be fair, if you like long socks, but I'm really happy with those. They matched up pretty perfectly, which is always very satisfying to me. That's got to shimmy that way a bit. Yeah, love them. I knit them on 9-inch circulars. I'll link the Ravelry page down below, but I think I did 64 stitches round, 20 cuff, 2x2 cuff, shadow wrap heel, and a rounded toe. Excuse me, I'm really croaky because I haven't spoken to anyone yet this morning. You are the first people I've spoken to, so yeah. Advent cozy knitter socks done. I really wanted those off my needles. I didn't keep up with them. I was doing really well until I got to the heel, but then obviously you have to do that in a day so that you can continue doing a stripe for a day, and once I got behind I was like, meh, whatever, it is what it is. I'm not that fussed about catching up, and plus I was working on the first sweater, which had a deadline, and they didn't really, other than being Advent socks. So that's my first finished object. My second finished object is another pair of socks. So as I mentioned last episode, I'm participating in the Desert Vista Dye Works 8th annual monthly sock club. It's a really long hashtag and a really long, I think that's right, a really long title. But I'm finished. I decided to do shorties because that's what I wear the most. Excuse me. So in order to participate for shorties, you had to make 2 pairs. I've got a hair that I've knit in there, a couple of hairs. That's not ideal, is it? Anyway, so this is one. I have the other, so it's obviously a matching pair. So yeah, you have to knit, if you're doing shorties, 2 pairs of shorties from the one skein to qualify for the sock club. If not, you can just do a normal traditional, you know, longer leg sock. I think it has to be a minimum of 3 inches in the leg, and then you can just do 1 pair. But like I say, I don't really wear long socks much, so I figured short socks was the way to go, and then I'll just get double the amount of socks. So I have done both pairs, and what I've decided, sorry, going down here, what I've decided I'm going to do is, I think it would be quite nice to have a whole bunch of new socks to wear next winter. So I bought myself this box, just from Hobbycraft. I think it's technically like a photo box. And I decided that inside I'm going to put the socks. So I'm going to wear them like just in the house for a bit to make sure that they're a good fit, because otherwise I'm going to make potentially 24 pairs of socks that don't fit me very well, because I want to kind of play around with lengths and heels and things. So I'm going to wear them around a little bit and see how they go, but I have 2 pairs. And then I'm going to put them in the box, and I'll have something to look forward to the end of the year. And actually, the main reason I'm doing this is because I think it'll be quite satisfying to lay them all out together and be like, I made these in a year. So I think that's my intention. I can't even fold them the same way, but they'll all go in there. And then I'll just add to them every month, and then I'll have a lovely box of socks. I don't particularly wear, I've been wearing my knitted socks more frequently now, but before I didn't wear them because I thought, oh, they're too precious, like what if I ruin them? And then I thought, that's ridiculous. You're knitting socks to wear, surely, not just to look good in your drawer. So yeah, I've been wearing them a little bit more now, but honestly, as soon as it gets warm enough, I'm flip-flops all the way through the year until yeah, it starts getting a bit cold and your toes freeze. So I won't get much use out of them now, really. So I'm going to keep hold of them. That's it for finished objects. I just have socks, which is probably going to be most of the theme for this year, in all honesty. Because I've signed up to the Desert Vista Dye Works challenge. I've got a couple of skeins left of the Desert Vista Dye Works back here in my yarn cabinet, but I have got an order on the way. It's going to my friend Karen in Scotland because we ordered together. And I think she said that the label's been generated and I think they've been shipped. We weren't sure, but hopefully they'll be with us soon. Not that we particularly need them yet because we've got a couple of months as a backup anyway, but it will be nice to see what we've ordered because we did it at the end of December and we've both forgotten what we ordered. So when it arrives, it's going to be a real good surprise. Anyway, that was a tangent. Let's get on to whips. I'm looking at them, 1, 2, 3, 4 whips to show you. So obviously I have more than 4 whips. These are my active whips, the ones that I've been working on. I've got a little pile of some over there in the corner, but we're just ignoring them for now. There's 2 socks, a granny stripe blanket, which I don't really count because it's a long-term project, the feldspar tee, which I really do want to finish for the, I was going to say winter, for the spring, so I will get around to that shortly, but we've got lots of other things going on over here. So let's start with Desert Vista Dye Works. So I started my February Desert Vista Dye Works socks on the 1st of February, which was Tuesday. I've got them in this really cute hedgehog bag that I had quite a lot of comments about. This was made for me very kindly by my friend Erica. She shortly will be opening a shop, so stay tuned for that. I will keep you updated. Her bags are awesome. I've actually got 2 of her bags that I'm using right now, so I will show you the other one in a minute. But for February's Desert Vista Dye Works socks, I decided to go with this beautiful colourway. Oh, it's attached to my sock, which is so pretty. And I love seeing it in the hank, but then I love caking up because honestly, I still don't know how this is going to turn out in a sock until I start knitting. And I just love seeing it go from a hank to a cake to a sock. I don't know why, it brings me so much joy. But this is on her Vista base and it's Zombody Zumba. Right here. It's a 75-25 base, approximately 462 yards. So you'll know that I made Dan's mum a pair of socks because she had an operation in December and she was kind of at home and I thought, well, she might be cold, so I'll make her a nice pair of socks, and I never had before. And she won't stop wearing them. She loves them. And she said to me the other day, oh, can I pay you to make me some more socks? I was like, don't be ridiculous, you don't need to pay me, but I'll happily make you more socks. So I decided that this month for Desert Vista Dye Works, I would make her a pair of socks because I think it is a bit selfish to make. I mean, I'm not judging you if you're making the whole 12 months for yourself, but personally, maybe I don't really need 24 pairs of socks. So it's a bit selfish of me to hog all the sock knitting. So I have decided to make them for her. And I am at the toe already. I'm quite proud of myself. I decided to do a pattern this time. So I'm doing the what's it called? Heel toe dough? It's by the Crazy Sock Lady. Okay, I can't get the words out today. Hold on, I've got the pattern right here. Heel toe do-si do. That's where I keep getting it wrong. Heel toe do-si do sock pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady, who is Kay Litton. And I love it. I've not done this. Hold on. Got to get it right. I've not done this pattern before, and I've always wanted to, but obviously it looks best in self-striping, and honestly I've not knit with a ton of self-striping. So when I got the Desert Vista Dye Works sock yarn, I was like, absolutely know what I'm knitting, and I think she'll love it. They're probably a little bit more wild than she would wear in colour, in the respective colour, but I don't know, they're just under your jean leg and in your boots or whatever anyway, right? So, or she could just wear them around the house. She doesn't have to wear them out. I won't be offended because they are quite wild, but I love them. So I've done the twisted rib as called for in the pattern. I think I only ended up doing like 17 rows or something just because of the stripes. And then I did I can't even count, 40 round leg, a shadow wrap heel because why would I ever do any other heel? Although I do want to venture into new heels, but I just love that heel so much, it's so fast. And then a 64 round foot, which is perfect. She said the last pair I made her was perfect. So I'm just at the toe point now, which I got to last night in the car when I was waiting to pick the girls up. So I plan to get that one finished today and then cast the other one right on, because I do get second sock syndrome, unfortunately. But this pattern has been so addictive because I'm just like, oh, one more stripe, or one more pattern repeat, and I love it. So I can highly recommend that pattern. Sorry, I didn't even tell you any of the details. So I'm knitting them on 9-inch Chalgu 2.25 circulars, 64 stitches. Yeah, I think I covered everything else. So they'll obviously be a longer pair, so I'll only need to make one pair of these this month, which will be nice. The leftovers, I'm not sure what I'm doing with from Desert Vista Dye Works. I know we can make like a monster pair, so you can make like a scrappy pair using leftovers of Desert Vista Dye Works yarn, so I might do that. From last month I did ball them up by hand and put them in a bag, so I think I'm just going to do that and then see how I feel about making a monster pair and see if I've got any colours that I think will go well together. If not, I might add them into my granny stripe. I don't know how that would look though, given that it's a striping yarn. I was talking about this in my knit group the other day actually, and Erica did show us an example on one of her blankets and it turned out fine, so I might do that. I'm not really sure. I might just keep them and make scrappy socks another day. Sorry, I'm playing with my hair. I've had a haircut and it's, yeah, I'm still getting used to it. I keep like tucking it out of my clothes and like it's not even in my clothes, and I keep like tucking it behind my ear and whatever. Side note, I had a haircut and a colour, because my husband very nicely pointed out that I had greys. Thanks, Dan. Thanks a lot. He's not wrong. I did have greys, but I was in denial about them. Sorry, I got totally sidetracked. Yes, I'll do something with the leftovers. I might make scrappy socks that aren't for the challenge and just keep hold of them, or I don't know, I'll probably just hoard them, let's face it. Okay, next whip is in this lovely bag made from my friend Vicky in my knit group. It's very wintry and Christmassy, but I actually just love it. It's a really good size. It's got the drawstring, and I think I'll just use it all year round, if I'm honest. So the girls at work, so if you don't know, obviously I told you I'm a nanny. I look after 2 girls who are 6 and 4, and they obviously see me knit a fair amount. I'm sat waiting in clubs for them or whatever, and they come out, they're like, oh, you're knitting, what are you making? And they're really interested, well, the youngest is really interested in learning to knit, but honestly it's having the time to teach her, because they do clubs now 5 days a week, and I barely have a chance to talk to them about how their day was, let alone teach them to knit. So it might be something we can do in the school holidays when they have their 6 weeks off, and she'll be 5 at that point, well, almost 5, and I think she'll probably be able to pick it up a little better. I think right now, I don't know, I guess she's never too young, but she doesn't have very good patience, so, and honestly I don't have very good patience as a teacher, so homeschooling taught me that. I don't know how well it would go down, but hey, they want a pair of socks, and they wanted rainbow socks specifically, and I saw this when I was in a local yarn store, and it's just the Regia Perfect sock yarn that's kind of rainbow like stripy, and honestly I don't know how much they'll appreciate the socks, so this is why they aren't getting hand dyed skeins, because I would love to make them a nice pair out of hand dyed yarn, but yeah, I don't know how much they'll appreciate them or even wear them, to be honest. The youngest probably will, but the eldest girl I look after it isn't a sensory issue, it's not like a diagnosis or anything, but she does not like things on her toes. Like, she has real trouble with socks and tights and getting them comfortable, and yeah, she gets really upset about it. So I'm not even sure that she'll wear them, but you know, if you're making one pair for one child, you have to make a pair for the other, so I'm making it fair. So I did start, however, I've never made children's socks before, because I'm a selfish knitter, and so I wasn't sure on sizing. I was going to make the Magic Heel Socks by the Autumn Acorn. That's an adult pattern, but I thought it'd be quite easy to translate into a children's pattern and just amend the numbers and the sizes. So I think I can't even remember now. I think I cast on 52 stitches, because I looked at another children's sock pattern that I had in my library, and it said for a child to knit 52, but I don't know, you know. I look at it and I think the rib is probably fine because obviously it stretches and it goes in, but I'm thinking this bit's probably too wide for their leg. I don't know, probably just need to put it on the eldest. And the eldest is very petite, she's quite thin, she's very tall. So her legs are quite tiny in circumference, so I'm not sure if that's going to be right. But like I say, I'll probably get them to try them. That's why I've not knit very much on them yet. They're on 9-inch 2.25 circulars Chalgu, but like I say, I'm not sure on size, so I might take this into work and get them to try them on, just for the circumference, and then change it from there. I'm not sure. So kind of a whip, barely a whip, to be honest. But we do have two others. So Dan's parents came over last weekend. They came to see how the building work was going and just for a chat and tea and cake, or coffee and cake actually, I think. We went to the local, we popped out and then we went to the local coffee shop in the village, well, in the village next to our village, and bought back cake and coffee for them. And then they came over, which was nice. So again, in another bag by my friend Erica, this is Friends themed, as you can see. She very kindly made one for quite a few of us, I think, that like Friends, and I was probably going to keep hold of it and use it when I finally decide on a project and use my Friends club, my mini club. But I'm not at the end of that yet, that mini club, and I don't know what I'm going to make. So I decided something on the bag. Looks like crumbs I've clearly been eating. Anyway, this lovely bag, and it's got this nice grey inside with poppers. It's probably a bit big for this project in all honesty, but I'm using all the bags that are bringing me joy. Back to the topic in hand. So Dan's parents came over and Dan's mum came up here to have a look at the room because she hadn't seen it yet because of her hip. So she can now do stairs. So she came up to see how we got on with our decorating. And while she was up here, I was like, oh, choose a skein of yarn and I'll knit you another pair of socks. At this point, I hadn't started the Desert of Sedai works, so I wasn't entirely sure if I was doing them for her or not. And she did. She picked a skein. And of all the skeins, I thought, oh, she'll pick something pink or, you know, one of the ones that I really want to use for myself. But she didn't. She chose Christmas yarn, which is fun. She didn't realise it was Christmas yarn. She obviously just liked the colour green. But it's this really nice green, and it's got yellow and kind of like a goldeny yellow and red throughout. This is by Ducky Darlings, and I bought it quite a bit before Christmas, I think. I was ordering something else and I saw it. And it's called Feeling Festive. So it's a 100-gram skein of the green, and then with it you get a mini skein. Oh, look at that. That is like yarn bath. But you get a mini skein of like a golden, which is really cute. They're both sock 4-ply 75/25. So I'm making these for her. This is what she wanted. I had an absolute nightmare caking this up. I don't know if it was my fault or whether it was just a bit tangled, but it was an absolute nightmare getting, it just got really twisted, and me and Dan were sat up here. I was like, Dad, I need your help. He came up and helped me. So I have a ball of it too because I had to cut the yarn. It was that bad. I just couldn't do it. And my patience wasn't, what's going on here? My patience wasn't great, to be honest. I thought it was going to be one of those like really quick 5-minute jobs and end up sitting up here for like 25 minutes. But hey, it is what it is. It's sorted now. So yes, I'm making these for her. I'm doing, what am I doing? A 2x2 cuff in the gold, and then I'm going to do the recipe that she loves. So she loves a 40 row leg, shadow wrap heel, 64 row foot. I'm doing them on, again, 2.25 Chalgu 9-inch, and I'll do a shadow wrap heel. So yeah, these are going to be for Dan's mum. These are going to be the perfect project for tonight. We're going out tonight with my nan. I think she's been having a bit of a rough time being on her own. It's quite an adjustment, isn't it, I guess, when you've been with somebody for 60 odd years, and then you're on your own. Life's quite quiet, and I guess, yeah, whatever. So I made a promise to myself to make more of an effort. She's only 30 minutes away but you know what it's like amongst work and knitting and your own social things, right? Because you have your own things going on, but the guilt's got to me. So I'm going to, she really wants to go to bingo. She went a few weeks ago on her own, and she said she didn't enjoy it because it's changed a lot in the bingo hall since she had been before. And it's not fun, I guess, is it, sitting on your own? There's quite a few intervals in bingo from what I can remember. I haven't been in absolutely years. But yeah, it's not as fun on your own, is it? So she said she didn't have a great time. And I said, well, Nan, why don't I come with you? And she's like, oh, would you? And I'm like, of course I will. And Dan loves a bit of bingo. So Dan's like, well, can I come? I'm like, yeah, if you want. So me and Dan are going to take Nan to bingo tonight, which, bless her, is probably the highlight of her month. She did say, oh, is it something we can do every week? And I was like, well, maybe every other, Nan. Like, got other things going on. And Saturday night, I mean, how cool am I at 32 spending my Saturday night at the bingo hall? But if it keeps her happy, then I'm happy. So I'm going to take those with me because they're at the stage where just great vanilla knitting, and I might get the other cuff knit on actually, because I can imagine I'll get more than 40 rounds done. And I don't know if I can knit and play bingo at the same time. So I was always really envious when I went to bingo. It was probably when I was like 20, right, with my parents, because I was like, oh, I can now, this is really cool. It's not cool, it wasn't cool, but at the time I thought it was really cool. And I saw these older people, they're like in groups sat there knitting and dobbing their numbers, literally, and I was fascinated. I was like, how can they do that? Like, I could barely keep up with the numbers. So tonight, oh sorry, I just kicked the camera. So tonight, that's my challenge. I'm going to see if I can knit and dob my numbers at the same time, because that's how I roll on a Saturday night. And actually, I really love bingo. I shouldn't be so harsh being like, how cool am I on a Saturday night? I do love it. I can just think of some better things to do on a Saturday. However, if we went in the week, because I did say to Dad, oh, maybe we can come in the week, but I mean, you don't really care, I'm telling you anyway. It starts at 6:15 and I don't finish work till 6, and I've got to get to her, which is a 30-minute drive, and so we'd miss the first couple of games, so it seems a bit pointless. Anyway, that was a ramble about what I'm going to be doing on my Saturday night. Sorry about that. Any other bingo lovers out there? Love a bit of bingo, and honestly, it'd be quite nice to win some money, wouldn't it? I mean, I never win. I think I've won like a tenner in my whole life, but yeah, you've got to be in it to win it, so they say. Anyway, that's enough of the rambling. I've got one more whip to show you, which is in this bag. This bag is by, what does it say? Antler and Acorn. I found these guys over on Etsy. I think Dan got it for me a couple of Christmases ago, because I was like, oh, I really like this bag. It's just perfect size, drawstring, got 2 handles, it's got pockets inside, really useful, and I love the colour. So I promised myself, once I had finished the ranunculus, which I showed you last time, that I was allowed to cast on another sweater, or kind of, you know, garment. And so I did. Me and my friend Karen wanted to knit the Autumn League pullover. She had cast it on a couple of times, but was having trouble with her gauge because she started when she was pregnant, and then she'd had her baby and she went back to it, and her gauge had changed massively, and she thinks it was due to stress and whatnot, but it was too big for her, so she frogged it. And so I was like, look, I really want to make one too, should we do it together? So that's what we're doing. She is ahead of me, but I've made pretty good progress. I started, I don't know exactly what day I started this actually. I can tell you though, because I've started this year a knitting diary, like a journal like Kay does, the Crazy Sock Lady. I'm using this friend's book, obviously, from my friend Charlie, and I'm noting down everything that I am starting and finishing. I started it on the 19th of January, so not bad progress considering, I don't think. What I didn't know when I had agreed to make the Autumn League pullover is that it is seamed. Why? Why must it be seamed? But it is, so I said to Karen, well, if you want to do it, then I'll do it, but seaming doesn't sound that fun. So it's a bit of a jambly mess, I'm not going to lie, because I split yesterday. Let me just get, 1 second, bear with me. Let me get a stitch holder in my drawer down here. You know, I'm not going to find one now I need one, am I? This might work. Let's see. It does not work. Okay, I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in this room. So the Autumn League pullover is by Alexandra Tavel, 2 of Wands. I think that's her name. I'm sorry if I've got that wrong. I'm pretty sure it's right. So you start, I am in a tangle. So you start at the neck. It's worked down, neck down, sorry, with raglan increases. So here is, it's not showing up very well, is it? It's all blown out a bit. Anyway, this is it. I started here. This is the front where you've got this cross detail. This won't be the neckline. You go back and add in a band, I believe, of some kind. But I really am happy with this twist at the front. This crisscross made by Twisted Stitches. Yeah, and I've just split. So this is the front. I've got right sleeve on my cords here, left sleeve on this side, and the back on the purple. So once you get to this point to split for the sleeves, you have to work back and forth on the front and the back individually, which is kind of annoying because I'm much slower at purling than I am at knitting, but I'll get it done. So that's the stage I'm at now, just knitting, purling, back and forth for another 11 inches, I believe. And then I believe you go and do the back. I don't actually know, I shouldn't say that, I haven't read the instructions. I'm just presuming you go and do the back. And then the sleeve. So it's seamed at the sides, down the body, and then also the sleeves are worked flat and then seamed under the arm, which I probably should look at the pattern because there must be a way you can just adapt it to go in the round. Has anyone made the Autumn League pullover and adapted it? I'd love to know in the comments down below. Yeah, so that's as far as I've got. I'm hoping to have the body done. Well, I really did have a very, very ambitious goal of having this finished by the pigskin party, which is on the 13th of February. Chances are quite slim, to be honest. I'd like to have the body done, which doesn't help me for inputting it for points, but still it's a good goal to have, isn't it? I'm knitting this on Chowgoo, obviously. All my needles are Chowgoo, unless otherwise stated. On a US 7 4.5mm needle. I'm just using my interchangeable set. I don't know what size cord this is. No idea, I'm sorry. I'm really rubbish with looking at things and guessing, like measurements. I'm knitting it with Serdar Haworth Tweed, which is a DK yarn. Each ball is 50 grams and it is a composition of, I can never remember, it's on the other label, it's got 2 labels per ball, hasn't it? 50% merino wool, 50% nylon. Perfect. Half and half. It's in the colour Millstone Grey and I'm on my second ball. This is what I've got left of my second ball. So I'm wondering actually if I should take this tonight. This might be quite good to just, but then I've got the purling. Not sure. Anyway, I might take both because, you know, who doesn't love a bit of variety? So yeah, you saw the big old tangly mess here. We will see how far I can get for the next episode. Shovel that back in there. I'm really into, really side note here, really into using paper patterns right now. I was using Knit Companion for quite a while, but honestly, carrying my iPad around with me and yeah, I don't know, just the battery would drain on it and then I couldn't get to my pattern and then I'd get frustrated because I had to charge it and I don't know, I just went kind of through a phase of actually, I really quite like just sitting there ticking it off as I go. So just letting you know, not that anyone asked, but okay, what's next? I think that's all my whips. There are a couple of things I want to cast on, and if you'd have asked me yesterday morning, I would have given you a very long list of what I would be casting on very soon. However, that has changed. I obviously have been stalking Laura over at Penrose Knits. If you don't know Laura, go check her out. She's amazing. She is a knitwear designer, podcaster here on YouTube. She's got the Knitting Pickle podcast and she's just generally a wonderful human being. I feel really bad. Every design that she puts out, I applied to test knit. And I'm like, Lucy, she's gonna think you're like totally crazy and like obsessed with her. But it's technically not a lie. I am a little bit crazy and I am a little bit obsessed with all her patterns. One moment. All her designs are just so me. And so she put a test call out a couple of days ago, and I was like stalking her for a whole week waiting for this test knit. And I remember the exact moment. I was sat outside the theatre club the girls were in, and I went onto Instagram, and there it was, the test call. 4 minutes ago she uploaded it, and I was like, oh, amazing. So I was there on my phone filling out the form, and she messaged me and was like, I can't even remember the exact words that she put, but she said something like along the lines of, well, it wouldn't be a test knit without This Nanny Knits. And I've had so many test knits, probably in the last part of last year. At one point I had like 5 going at one time, and she was like, you're crazy, like, why all these test knits? She knows how much I love a test knit. So I applied to test her souffle pattern, which I'll put here, ta-da, for you to see. It's incredible and it's so me. So I will be casting that on. She put us all in a group yesterday and was like, congratulations, you've been selected to test knit. And it was literally like the best news, because like I said, I feel a bit bad that I applied for all her test knits and I don't expect to get into them all, but so far I have, and I'm like, yes, winning. Winning at life. Anyway, side note. All of that to say, I've got some acquisitions, and that's what I'll be casting on next. So she put us in that group last night. Excuse me. Why am I so croaky? It's not even early. She put us in a group last night on Instagram to say congratulations, you're in the test, blah blah blah. I'm pretty sure it was about 4:30, 4:45. So we were all chatting in there. I was trying to like cook the roast dinner at work and get everything ready at the same time, but I was so excited. I was like trying to read everyone's messages and keep up, and we were talking about colour options and blah blah blah. Anyway, the lovely Simona over at Knit Yarns very kindly gave us a discount if we were taking part in the test knit of 20% off. So straight away I went over to her website, found the yarn I wanted. I was umming and ahhing for a little while about colour choices, but I went with my heart, ordered the yarn about 5:20, and by 6 o'clock it was like, it's been dispatched, and then it arrived. Look at this. What? Today it arrived. Like, somebody just put in the test knit faster than Amazon, literally. So I haven't opened it yet because it came like 5 minutes before I was sitting down to podcast, so I thought I'd open it with you. It won't be any surprise to you what colour I chose. I was thinking of going, sorry, a bit crinkly. I was thinking of going for a grey, but see, my problem is I would probably only wear this with jeans, because that's all I really wear. Not that you couldn't style it with other things. I guess you could wear it with my black skirt. Anyway, side note, I'd probably wear it with jeans, and I really wanted to do it in, like, there was a blue and there was a navy, and I was like, it's too blue though. If you wear that with jeans, it's not going to look great. And then I was like, oh, maybe I go with a grey. Oh yeah, a grey would be nice. But my heart was like, how boring. Like, I love a grey, it's a great staple. But when I saw this colour, I just had to go with it. And my hand is in here. I haven't looked at the colour yet, but man, this is incredibly soft. Are you ready? Ah, yay! Obviously, I went with a bright pink. That's no surprise to any of you, is it really? Oh, it's so beautiful. Guys, this is the softest. Laura was not lying. She said that this was the softest yarn. It's a real treat. This is quite a luxurious yarn. So it's Lang Yarns, and it's in a lace mohair super kid silk. It's got really high silk content. 58% mohair, super kid mohair, 42% silk. Guys, that's incredible. Sorry, I'm looking, well, the sun's really coming in. It's like blinding me. But this is a real true representation of its colour. How stunning is that? Ah, I'm so excited. And I thought that this wouldn't come until at least Monday, Tuesday. I think Laura said she'd try and have the pattern with us this weekend because she's just making a few tweaks to it. So I thought, oh no, I won't even be able to swatch. Everyone's going to be ahead of me. But No, they won't. Well, they could be, but you know, I've got a good chance now of keeping up. So I had to order 5. Laura said, excuse me, for my size between 4 and 5 balls. So obviously I didn't want to run out, so I just went with 5. I am going to be knitting the size 3, and this is going to be incredible. I am so excited. Can you tell? This means I could swatch. Wow, this one I'm going to be doing later. Well, I might not have time today because I need to get those socks ready for tonight for vanilla knitting at the bingo hall. Maybe I'll sit down and do this tomorrow. Oh, wow. It smells really good too. Anyway, I will stop going on about this now. I didn't tell you actually, I think these are what, 25 grams? Yeah, but it's a really generous 25 grams because it's 310 meters. Look at the fluff on this, guys. Come on, can we all just appreciate this for a second? This is incredible. Now, I'm a little bit worried that I might have to frog at some point because I might do something wrong and that's going to be hell to frog, but I'm just going to try super hard to not have to frog. Do you think this will look good? Do you like the colour? I love it. And yeah, I put in the group, like, I feel like pink is so predictable. Everybody thinks I'm going to go with pink, but pink is just where my heart's at. So I went with it. I went with my heart. Anyway, see if there's anything exciting. I think this is just my receipt. Yes, it is. But amazing, amazing service from Knit Yarns. This is them, if you don't know, knitwith2ts.co.uk. I highly suggest you go and check them out. Even when I haven't, you know, used a discount code for a test knit or anything, their customer service has been incredible and their shipping is fast. Like, this is super fast for them, but normally it's been here within like 2 to 3 days, so they are great. And actually my go-to for my Filcolana Arwetta. I haven't really checked out much of the other yarn that they sell, but I probably should. Okay, I do have some other acquisitions. Yes, I do. Let's go through acquisitions. I've got a little box of them. So firstly, I've got my yarn club from Yarn for the Soul. I do a monthly yarn club with them. It's £9, you get 2 mini skeins and it's Beatrix Potter themed. I've been doing this for a while and actually I must be coming up to my year, at which point it will repeat itself, so I might cancel and join a different one. But these were the 2 from this month. These were January's, I think. They came, yeah, probably last week. So a really nice peachy colour and a really nice blue. And then they come with like a little snippet from the story. So that's really cute. It's about the guinea pig. Anyway, I can now put those in my pot. I just put them in I've got like a vase up here in my yarn cabinet, so I normally just put them in there. Second one's got a little bit of rustling. So I have got my Friends Yarn Club for, hold on, is this January? Yeah, January. It's All Relative was the theme. You can see on here, it's all relative. So we've got colourways Ursula, Dr. Green, Helena Handbasket, Seven Sisters and Jack and Judy. And I chose the sock, so it's a 75-25 and each 20 grams gives you 85 metres. I am aware that I've probably not shown you the last couple because of Vlogmas. But I've put them all in a project bag in here and I have just muddled them up. So without really going through it and picking them out again, I don't have them to show you and I didn't have time to do that before I hopped on. So I'll just show you. I'm not going to knit anything with them until I have them all and I still don't have a clue what I'm going to knit with them. I'm just probably going to hoard them for a bit. But I will be sure to kind of take a picture and get them all out to show you them together. This is Seven Sisters. I love Castle View yarn so much, if you didn't already know. They're just so stunning. This is Dr. Green. I still have no idea what to make with these. Jack and Judy, I love this one. Kind of a nice neutral with some pops of colour. Helena Handbasket. And this one's incredible. Ursula. Look at that. Whoa. That is bright. So, they're my 5 mini skeins. I'm now going to put those in the bag. One rustle for one moment, close your ears. Sorry about that. I'm going to need that to go with them. And then I received a beautiful, beautiful box from my friend. So my friend Kristen is part of my knit group and she's incredible. I met her in London, so if you've been here for a while, you'll know that we went on a bit of an adventure in London. She was here for work. She is from Nebraska. Are you from Nebraska? I think she's from Nebraska. I can never remember. My knit friends are all over the US and I'm like, where are you from again? I'm pretty sure she is. And she sent I'm just checking, oh yeah, I'm showing you my address. That's not ideal, is it? She sent the cutest box. It's got stickers all over it. So she said this was a Valentine's gift. She's adorable. And I believe she's sending them to everybody in our knit group. She's just so kind and so lovely. So she sent me a little card. Basically just said about the things that she sent. And she wanted to send us Valentine's boxes, which I think is just the cutest. So let me show you what's in here. That's random. I think that is not from this box. I think that is something that just got stuck in there. So Kristen was the one that ordered my Cozy Knitter Advent socks for me, and Karen, my friend, because we couldn't get it here in the UK. She didn't ship to the UK, and it was supposed to come with this mini skein. But there was a problem when it was sent to her. And we said to her, look, do you mind just sending it without the mini skein, because we wanted it for Christmas so that we could knit it for Advent. And I had white yarn, bare yarn that I could have used for the heels and toes anyway. So she did, but then it finally got to her. So she finally added it into our box, which was really kind. So I've got that mini skein. Oh, there's so many yummy looking things in here. She knows that we're doing the Desert Vista Dye Works sock challenge. So she very kindly sent us some Desert Vista Dye Works yarn, and I'm just trying to figure out, she did write in the card what one this is. Laser tag. This is approximately 53 grams. How cute is that? When I opened this box, Dan was like, whoa, that is a cool colour. I was like, I know, right? It made me laugh. And then this mini skein, which is super, super cute. Has this got a name? Well, bear with me one moment. I think she did put it in. Yes. Alicia Zombody Edwards, approximately 16 grams. Beautiful, so I can use that for maybe a monster sock. And then she sent the cutest things. So this is a Bella Vista fingering weight 85.15, 100 grams, 394 yards in the colourway Gravity. How cute is this? I love a good grey. You can't go wrong with a grey, and actually this could be quite useful. I need a grey for another project, so that might be really nice. So I'm going to keep hold of that one. I love smelling yarn. That's so weird, isn't it? But I just love it. Thank you, Kristen. I have already thanked her, and I don't even know if she'll watch, but you never know. And then she included the cutest things for like relaxing. So an eye mask. You can't see because it's very holographic, but this is for your eyes. A face mask, some little tea sachets, some Reese's Pieces Love Hearts, some heart candies. Oh, wrong side, I'm showing you. They're really cute. Some Hershey's Kisses that are pink. Never had a Hershey's Kiss, so see what they're all about. There's all sorts of cute little things in here. Oh my goodness. I did not dig deep enough in this box. To be fair, I kept it all intact because I wanted to show you guys, but these are my favourite little chocolates right now. Ghirardelli? Something like that. Anyway, some of my other friends have sent me some. This is a milk chocolate caramel. There's a few of those. They're going in my desk drawer so Dan doesn't find them. Although I probably shouldn't say that in case he watches. Oh, what else have we got? Oh, and there's all this really cute paper in here, which is so adorable. And some bath confetti that I love hearts. Kristen, you are the cutest. Thank you so, so much. It literally made my day opening that parcel. It was when the house was all a bit chaotic and all the building work had started, and I was like, first world problem, I get it, but my house was a mess and it was just a really nice box to open. So thank you. And I don't have any other acquisitions because I told myself I wasn't going to buy any yarn. And I haven't done so other than this beauty. But I was talking to my friend Karen last night. I was like, Karen, I've done something really bad. I've ordered yarn. And I know we weren't meant to order yarn, but I had to. I was trying to justify it to her. And she was like, Lucy, if it's for a test knit, that's practically work. That's not even yarn for you. That is a job. And I'm like, you're right. This is how I'm going to sell it to Dan. It's technically work. Knitting is work. I'm trying to blag that. I don't know how long I'll get away with that. But what else do I need to tell you? That's all I've acquired. I think that's plenty. I am in the distant future. Well, I was going to do it soon, but what with the souffle that I am so excited to test knit, I was going to cast on the sea glass sweater. And I still am. It just won't be for a little bit because I don't want to be stress knitting on the test knit. I want to get it done and I want to be relaxed about it, and I don't want to have too many whips because I know I find that really overwhelming. And honestly, I won't wear this probably now until next year, so like later in the year even, when it's winter again, because it's starting to really pick up here. I mean, the last few days have been chilly, but they've been sunny and it's been quite nice. So yeah, I'm going to knit this, but I'll talk about how I'm going to knit it. I was on Zoom the other night and I was picking out some colours. Is this the right bag? Yes. Picking out some colours. So the sea glass sweater is a DK weight pattern, but it's great for stash busting. And I don't have a lot of DK weight yarn. I don't really use it that often. So yeah, it's not something I have a lot of. But I'm going to hold fingering double, I think. I am going to do the collar and the cuffs and one colour throughout. So it's basically colour work. So you have one colour, you have a colour 1 and a colour 2. I'm going to do a grey collar, cuffs and ribbing. And my colour 1 will be a grey held throughout. Now I'm not sure if that's going to be a DK or fingering held double because I found a grey that I really like, but they don't have enough in the DK weight on the website. So I was waiting for it to be restocked there. They do have enough in the fingering. Then I'd have to hold it double, and I don't know if that's going to be too much yarn management. So given that I'm not going to cast that on soon, I might just wait for the DK to come in stock. But I did sit down and go through all my minis, and I think I've kind of decided what I'm going to use. So I've got a bag full. I don't even think I can show you, but I've hand wound them all because I just figured that would be easier. Well, except one that was already in a cake. Okay, 2. But I'm going with, it's a real random kind of mishmash of colours, but I think it will work quite well because you hold them double. So you can kind of like marl them in. So I've got some purples. There's kind of quite a big purpley pink theme. But then I've got some like really crazy Kate Celine yarn that's just a bit of every colour. This one I love. I got this in a yarn swap with my friend Gretchen. I really love this one. So I think I might tie that in somewhere. So I've got enough yarn in here to hold fingering double, and I've put some in for insurance purposes too, in case I run out. But it's really good for stash busting. So I've got literally like some really tiny balls, but then I've got some really like massive balls. So I'll just use what I can with that. So I'm quite excited about that. I think there's quite a lot of people in my knit group that want to do it. So maybe we'll get together, not get together because we're all over the world, but you know, Zoom together and do that. I don't know when they're intending to start, but that could be an option. And there's one other thing that I'm going to cast on soon. Given that my Desert Vista Dye Works socks are going to be 1 pair this month, I will probably try and, whoa, I'm dropping paper. I'll probably try and knit these ones this month too. These are the DRK Everyday Socks. My friends were talking about it in our group chat, and they're supposed to be a really good fitting sock. I think because they're ribbed. Yes? Hello, I'm recording.
You want tea?
Yes, I'd love a cup of tea, thanks. I didn't even hear Dan come in. That was quite worrying, isn't it? Someone came in, I didn't even hear. Anyway, I'm going to knit these because they're a ribbed sock. I think they'll fit really well. They've got quite an interesting looking heel. I haven't really looked at the details, but yeah, going to give those a go probably for myself. Although don't think they've got children's sizes, so I could knit the girls' socks in these because they're ribbed. They would be quite good. Now there's a thought. They'd be quite good for, they'd be quite forgiving in size, wouldn't they? So maybe I'll do that. I'm not sure. What else do I have to tell you? I've watched a few podcasts this week, but I don't think there are really any new ones. I think they're just the usual people. I've not been having a great deal of time to sit and watch podcasts, so it's been a little bit crazy. So I've kind of been getting them in here and there when I can. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to tell you. I'm only at 55 minutes. I'm quite impressed with myself. I'll leave the knitting stuff there. That's it for today. If you're only here for the knitting, then thank you very much for stopping by. It was nice to sit down with you. Now I'll talk a little bit about life. There's not much going on. I've had a haircut, as you can tell. I decided that my hair hadn't had a cut, to be fair, for like 2 years due to COVID. And I think with long hair, you can kind of get away with it, can't you? Just shove it up or whatever. But it was annoying me. I needed the greys seeing too. And I thought, what with summer coming up and being out and about with the girls, it might be quite nice to have it short. So I went for like a longish bob, which I think works quite well. Next time I might take it a smidge shorter. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll probably change my mind and chicken out. As I mentioned, there's a lot of building stuff going on here. There's currently a hole in the extension downstairs. Well, a few holes where they're heading the bricks for the window that's going in. They've turned them all so there's like holes all the way down, and it's freezing. It's so cold. We've had it all plastered. I think that's the problem. So before it was plastered, there was a sheet of insulation up against the opening door frame that they've knocked through from the garage to the house. And they put that Celotex up there and it stopped any of the cold coming through, which was great. However, now they've plastered it, the plaster was wet, and so they haven't been able to lean that Celotex up against the wall. And so now it's a bit of a wind tunnel. So we haven't spent a great deal of time at home. I think the first night was probably, I don't know if it was Wednesday or Thursday, that was really chilly. I came home from work and was like, what is this? I was like, there's no way I'm staying here. We have to go out. So we went out for dinner, naturally, because it's a good enough excuse. We hit Five Guys, which is awesome. Can't go wrong with a Five Guys. And then actually went to my parents and camped out there for a couple of hours, but I'm not sure it was much better because they're still waiting on a new sofa, so we had to sit on the floor, albeit it was warm, but it wasn't exactly comfortable. So it's the lesser of two evils. Went there, and then okay, last night we suffered. It wasn't too bad, to be fair. I just sit there on the sofa wrapped up in a blanket trying to knit and keep my hands under the blanket at the same time. So hopefully that'll be finished next week and we'll have a window in there and it won't be so chilly. The flooring needs to be done, needs to be levelled out, underfloor heating's going down, it needs to be screed, it needs to be insulated, all of that. And then I think we will get it back to decorate. So I think it will be back to us, the builders will hand it over, and yeah, we will continue. So I'm quite excited for that. We need to go and choose some flooring in a minute. That's our job of today. Well, this weekend, we need to commit to some flooring and go and buy that for the whole of downstairs because we want it to match. Oh, sorry, kicking the tripod. We want it to match, and as I'm told, it's a bit like wallpaper for colour batches. So we need to buy an entire downstairs worth. And I don't even know where we're going to put that now, so we don't have a garage to put it in. I mean, we've got a tiny bit of garage at the front, which is the utility room, but anyway, that's our plan for this weekend. Other than that, we've not got a lot on. Going out tonight with Nan, tomorrow, yeah, nothing really, quite nice and chill. We do have a little bit of sad news on the dog front, and thank you all for your comments on the last podcast. I haven't replied to you because I haven't really, A, had a great deal of time to sit down and do that, and B, I didn't really know what to say. A lot of the comments were like, oh, I'm so excited for your puppy, blah, 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 congratulations, this is exciting. But there has been a little bit of bad news on the puppy front, and I wasn't sure whether to share it here, but it will be apparently obvious when the puppy doesn't arrive. So unfortunately, the dog that was pregnant went into labour on the Saturday, a couple of weeks ago now, I think it was, and was having a little bit of trouble. And so she was taken to the vets to have a C-section, where they performed a C-section and only 2 of the puppies survived. which is obviously horrific. So very sad news, but the news did get a little bit worse, and I won't go into detail because it isn't my story to share, but unfortunately the next day the mum dog also passed away, which is horrific for the family. Like, that was their family pet. She was only 4 years old, like absolutely awful. And so understandably the family are keeping both of those puppies, which I totally get, and I would totally be in the same boat. And honestly, even if they weren't, we were 5th on the list, so we wouldn't have got a puppy. So a bit sad. Did have a few days of feeling sorry for myself, because although that sounds really selfish, like when you've got your hopes set on something and you're expecting it to come and you're expecting it to happen, then you're really disappointed when it doesn't. But obviously I really felt horrific for the family, and they've got 3 kids, and I can't imagine the hole that has left in their family life. So the search continues. I am in chats with a man about a dog. I have been speaking with him, and they've only mated her a few weeks ago. They find out this weekend if she's actually pregnant or not. And we did kind of look around, and there are places online where you can buy a dog, and there are some that are available right now. Yeah, there were quite a few that were 9 weeks old and ready to go, but we don't feel that with the house being in the chaos that it is, we kind of needed those few weeks that we would have had with the other pup to prepare, take time, maybe take a week off work, and not have so much dust and dirt and, you know, everything all over the place here. So we're not in a position really where we could, I mean, there was a very reputable lady that messaged me and said, I've been let down, I've got a 9-week-old pup ready to be collected this weekend. And I was like, oh my goodness, Dan. And he was like, Lucy, it's just not practical. And I was like, okay, fine. I know you're right, but at the same time, I don't agree with your answer. So they did luckily find a home for that dog. But yeah, we need to be patient, and the right one will come along. And although it's sad, I know that I really believe that everything happens for a reason. And so, yeah, I've got that out there. Bit tough. It was a tough couple of weeks for everybody, but what can you do? Things like that happen all the time. So there won't be a little pupper running around here as soon as we thought, but there will be by summer. There definitely will be. So yes, other than that, all is well here. Nothing really very exciting to report. Back into this full swing of work. And yeah, I'm going to go drink my cup of tea that hopefully, yes. Look, has been delivered to me. Thank you so much. Look at the state of you. Lovely. Dan has been helping his brother in his brother's car garage this morning, and he looks rather dirty. Oh, and he smells of diesel. Great. Anyway, can't complain. He did leave me a coffee this morning before he went in bed, and now I've got a cup of tea, so got to be grateful for that. Anyway, I'm waffling, and I don't really have much else substantial to talk about, so I'm just going to be sat here waffling about nothing. I'm going to go and drink my cup of tea, but I hope you all have a lovely weekend, and I will speak to you all very soon. Take care. Bye bye.